Ladies and gentlemen, this week's Monday Night Raw review is dedicated to the memory of Jim Hellwig, aka the Ultimate Warrior, who unfortunately passed away. Following this week's Monday Night Raw review here on WGS-TV, we will have a tribute talking about some of our favorite moments and matches throughout his career as the Ultimate Warrior. So, thank you very much.
Times NWA World Heavyweight Champion Scrap Iron Adam Pierce, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm the WrestleGamer, WB Billy Bujo, and this is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of April 7th, 2014. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. First off, he's our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Okay, still a little in shock, but thanks for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is from the hood over on iVlog. He is the Bay Area MVP known as Will. Will, how you doing?
Same thing like Lance. The wrestling world just hit a shock with Warrior's death. Rest his soul, and let's hopefully get to this review in form that we are in right now.
And from the Houdat Temple on iVlog, he's James the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
After watching Raw, I do not believe I want to do this.
I kind of had a feeling he was going to go that route. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome a newcomer to the group. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Awesome Alfie. Alfie, how you doing?
Oh, thanks for the nickname. Hi. Hello.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the start of Monday Night Raw this week, which was Daniel Bryan coming out to celebrate his championship win from WrestleMania. In essence, the fans are going nuts, and like I said before, good for the Yes movement. They've been crying, bitching, pissing, moaning for the longest time. They wanted Daniel Bryan as champion. Now they got him as champion. But for how long? Because a lot of folks were wondering, will Daniel Bryan be a transitional champion? And after the conclusion of the opening segment, which involved Triple H coming out and making a match for himself, forcing Daniel Bryan to defend the title against him later tonight, a lot of people were really speculating that Daniel Bryan was going to get screwed somehow out of the championship. Would that be the case? Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to that point in the review. So let's get to the first matchup. And all right, Lance, I said it on the Facebook page, I said it on the WrestleMania review, and I don't feel like I should repeat myself, but it's just, it's the haters out there want to have their own little chant. Why can't I? Let's go, Cena, haters suck. That's my chant. But it's the Wyatt family taking on John Cena, Big E, and Sheamus. Now, I can understand, Lance, some of the support for the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt, he is good on the microphone. He's got some good skill in the ring. Luke Harper, phenomenal. This guy is really amazing in the ring. As far as I'm concerned, Eric Rowan can suck it.
And he would probably say, not bad.
But seriously, what has he done to actually, contribute to the gimmick of the Wyatt family other than standing there looking like a complete tool wearing a sheep mask, Lance?
Well, I think that his whole gimmick is to be the mindless sheep.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on the six-man tag?
I mean, it was good, no doubt about it. I was, honestly, and I'm not a huge fan of six-man tags, but tags in general. But yeah, entertaining.
All right. Well, up next we had a mixed tag match: Fandango and Samurai taking on Santino, Marella, and Emma. And as James is doing the little dance here, as you guys can see, very well see. One thing, though, I want to bring up, I don't know if you caught this, James, but Fandango broke up with Summer Rae on Twitter?
Yes, she did. Well, this was, I was at, nobody knew this, but I was at Raw Monday. So, but it all happened because of how Summer Rae lost to Emma when Emma locked in the Emma lock for the submission victory. And basically, just Fandango's like it's all frustrated now. Now he's broke up with Summer Rae, so he's gonna have a new dancer with him, new valet.
I reckon he'll go solo.
I wonder if it'll be the original dancer that he first came out with, the brunette dancer.
After reading stuff, no, it is not. You'd be surprised who is gonna be on SmackDown.
Or for certain, it ain't gonna be Eva Marie.
God, please don't let it be Eva Marie.
No?
A little hint. No, it's not Eva Marie.
Thank you. Thank you. Up next, we have Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out and boast about the streak. And one thing, Alfie, that you got that I loved about this segment is the way Paul Heyman just worked that crowd. I mean, it was. I loved every minute of it. Paul Heyman is gold on the microphone.
I've always said it. Paul Heyman is one of the best managers and speakers on the mic the company has ever seen. Any company. Because he can get behind a crowd. He's one of those people that you could hate. You can hate. And an example of this was on Raw. You could hate him, but all of a sudden, Cesaro's the new guy. Oh, we love Paul Heyman.
We'll get to that.
Him.
We'll get to that in the point of the review, because that was a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
I've actually said that before. I said he's the guy that they need. But you can hate him, Paul Heyman, all you want, but you'll love him the next day. He's just incredible. That was by far one of the best promos I've ever seen. It was fantastic. I really did enjoy it.
Speaking of promos,
so mad.
Yeah, but speaking of promos, we had quite a bit of NXT promos on this week's Monday Night Raw. I mean, we've already seen one from Bo Dallas for Believe. You know, always believe in yourself.
I don't want to believe. No.
And now we're seeing this kook known as Adam Rose. Now, I did get to see one match from Adam Rose. I think he was on NXT Arrival when they had that stream, and I was actually kind of impressed with what he did. But the vignettes were just kind of out there.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
You know, this is Leo Kruger. This is his new gimmick. But actually, he wasn't on Arrival. I think he was the week after. But this is really still a new gimmick. I just feel like this is too early to have Adam Rose come up as that gimmick. Now, if I were to say it was Leo Kruger, yeah. But this is a brand new gimmick with all this partying and stuff. It's still new. I don't get it that he's coming up now, but you know, it's just me.
You know, well, a lot of people are probably have the same kind of feeling, because I'm just sitting there looking at, and he's pointing to all these different weird people on a bus he's on or something like that, and he's having a party. I mean, I was like, what is this? You know, that's all I can say about that. You know,
basically his gimmick is that partying person, basically.
Yes, Lance.
It's pretty much kind of like how it used to be, like in the 1980s, like on a rock star's tour bus.
Oh,
basically, or how it was perceived to be, like you're partying on the bus 24/7. Basically, at least is how I understood it.
I thought he was British at first, but then I just looked him up now, and he's South African. He sounded in his promo. He sounded really kind of English. Well,
then again, Kofi's from South Africa. They built him from Jamaica.
Yeah, but he plays it well.
Yeah.
I have a problem. Are you supposed to be Jamaican? Where's your accent? Post 2010 when he broke it, and he broke his character.
Yeah,
He's like, welcome to my party bus, and I was like, you're from England. No, you're not. No, you're not. Made a mistake.
Well, Randy Orton and Batista were both very unhappy of the fact that about the outcome of WrestleMania, and Randy Orton wanted to get his rematch tonight. Triple H said, no, you ain't going to get yours, but you're going to remember, whenever we were on the same page, a.k.a. Evolution, that nobody could stop us. So I'm thinking, you know, the way this promo went with Stephanie McMahon giving them the tag team titles, I almost get the feeling that WWE is trying to reform Evolution. I don't know if Will, if you got that same vibe, but that's what I'm kind of thinking. A reformation of evolution.
Yeah, and see, the thing was, and I kept saying this here, and I kept saying this on Hardcore Wrestling Radio, is what if Daniel Bryan did not win and Triple H advanced? Do you know those fans would have start walking out of the Superdome, not the Silverdome, Hogan? Shrug.
Superdome.
And the truth,
I loved it when he got that wrong. The whole crowd just like, boo, like you got that wrong.
and the thing is, I mean, not to take it away from what Triple H has accomplished, but the thing is, and I'm going to be vaguely honest here, so whoever doesn't like it, oh well. Triple H is a 13-time world champion. You've done enough for the company. You've done enough to establish who you are. Why don't you let people like Bryan, the Usos, and talent that could bring up your numbers have their time? I mean, I don't care if it's storyline or not. I just feel that it's Daniel Bryan's time, and not to take away from what he's accomplished since he started as an indie star. But if he would have won, believe me, all of James's people out there in New Orleans would have started walking out of that dome and would have headed for the nearest Popeyes or Smoothie King.
Well, let me ask you this though. Well, did you for Monday Night Raw, did you actually think that WWE would have the Usos drop the titles for Randy Orton, Batista?
I did.
Hell no. Hell no. It would have been WWE's most utterly crude mistake if that would have happened. It would have never happened. Sorry. I think Usos, I kept saying this for the last 4 or 5 months, the Usos are a good tag team that's underrated and sometimes overlooked. But I'm glad they're still the champs.
Well, up next, we saw the return of a person I saw at WrestleCon this past Saturday, Rob Van Dam, taking on Damien Sandow. This was just pretty much cut and dry. RVD getting put over, hitting the 5-star frog splash on Damien Sandow. So apparently, guessing now Rob Van Dam's back for another 90 days in the WWE. Who knows? But up next, apparently his work visa must have cleared because we had Bad News Barrett just absolutely obliterating Rey Mysterio. Easy for me to say.
That was fantastic. I love that. Oh, the way they were cheering him was brilliant. And just Rey Mysterio was getting booed. I've never seen him get booed that much. Well, except the Royal Rumble. That was the only exception. He got booed big time.
James, would it be safe to say that the New Orleans crowd for Monday night was trying to beat out the crowd from last year from East Rutherford, New Jersey, as being the most insane crowd ever?
Yeah, let's say that, because remember, the Raw after Mania is always the international crowd. This ain't a normal New Orleans. It wasn't a normal, last year wasn't a normal New Jersey nor a normal Miami crowd 2 years back. They're trying to, every crowd want to try to up their game like every year. I don't think they did it well this year, but it was close.
Yeah. I gotta agree with you on that one there, but up next, a person I thought we would have seen his debut at WrestleMania for the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but we ended up not seeing that. He ended up making his in-ring debut on Monday Night Raw. I'm talking about Alexander Rusev and the person formerly known as Zack Ryder, because we just knew right then and there that Rusev was just going to totally annihilate Zack Ryder.
Vance, would you like to say it?
Zack Ryder, you poor bastard.
I was live tweeting. I was following up tweets of on Twitter, of course, and everyone was just saying, "Rest in peace, Zack Ryder. You're about to get murdered. That is it. You are done."
Yeah, that was pretty much. I didn't get to see too much out of Rusev that I wanted to see. I wanted to see a little bit more, like, even JBL mentioned it on commentary. Just imagine what it'd be like if Rusev is actually tested in the ring, and that's something I want to see. It's one thing to see a person just totally annihilate a jobber. It's another one to see him actually work another superstar, another caliber athlete, performer in the ring. So I want to see how Alexander Rusev can actually, go in the ring and work someone like a Batista or Big E or Randy Orton. That's what I want to see. I want to see how he works with those kind of guys. Before I start, giving him any praise for being the quote super athlete that he is supposed to be. But Now, up next, it's a little hard to talk about it, but this was the a point in the show where Warrior came out and started saluting the fans, about his career, about how the spirit of the Warrior would run on forever. And, at that time, none of us knew what exactly was going to happen that we know today. And, I said it on the Facebook page, I'm definitely going to pick up the DVD. I want to hear his side of the story, see his matches again. And, it's almost like a tribute to him in a sense. You pick up the DVD and, there are a lot of fans out there who are, have the same feeling as, we do. We're just totally stunned, totally shocked over the news because, like I said, none of us knew from Monday night, when he was making that promo. And it was a good promo, but, none of us knew at that point in time what was going to happen. We all was just thinking, it was just Warrior paying tribute to the fans and, for him being inducted into the Hall of Fame, nothing more and nothing less. But, like I said, following this Monday Night Raw review, guys, we will have a tribute to the Warrior. We're going to talk about some of our favorite moments throughout his career to kind of honor his memory. So be sure you guys stay tuned to WGS-TV for that one as well. So I hope you guys are still there for that. So let's go on to the AJ Lee coming out. She's bragging that, she faced the world and retained the Divas Championship. When out comes Paige, the NXT Women's Champion. And needless to say, the crowd went nuts. I'm just sitting there and thinking, finally, some credibility in the Divas division. Because I had the chance to see Paige work with Emma at NXT Arrival when they had that pay-per-view, and that was one of the best women's matches I have seen in a long time in wrestling, period.
I like that she came out, but I don't like how they did it. Is she just like, I'm coming out and I'm congratulating you, that's about it? Like, make it better. I'm happy that she won. I'm really happy.
Yeah, but the way they worked it is that AJ said she wanted to teach her a lesson and slapped her in the face, and you know what? I'm so confident that I can beat you that I'm going to put my title on the line. And she attempted to put the Black Widow on her, and Paige reversed it into the Paige Turner, her finishing move. I'm pretty sure MSX star Christian Blake, the new MSX heavyweight, well, you know what? I'm going to save that until that goes up. I don't want to spoil that. But, that's kind of one of his maneuvers that he uses here in Louisiana, the Page Turner. He calls it the Pavelo. But
Billy, I think if it's for somebody that looks like Paige, he'll let it slide.
I think so. I think so. But I got to say, Lance, though, well, you know what? Let me go to James because he is the Divas correspondent. Paige, there are a lot of fans out there who even said on the Facebook page that Paige is undeserving to be the Divas champion, even though she was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion and by far one of the best workers they got there. You and I can both attest to it because I said for the longest time, when we're going to see this great talent on the main roster, and her debut match is a title match, and they put the title on her her very first night on Raw. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, just being there, when I heard that crow screaming, I looked at it and I saw that P on that Timetron. I'm like, oh my God, it's Paige. I was basically marking out. Me being an AJ Lee fan and all, it was like what Will would say, or Ash or anybody. Finally, she's debuting. I kind of said to a couple people, if AJ would have won at WrestleMania, which she did, Paige was going to debut, and she was going to fight for the title. But I didn't expect it to be this soon. Once AJ made the announcement that she was so confident she would beat Paige, she would put the title on the line, I knew she was going to lose the title. Because AJ hasn't basically had done well the last few months because of Total Divas. But this will give hope to the Divas division. Paige, a great competitor in NXT. AJ, a great competitor in the main roster. With these two, with the rematch, I hope they do more than 2 minutes. I want it to be a 10-15 minute classic.
Will, do you feel that with Paige now coming up to the main roster and considering what happened on Monday Night Raw, that this actually not only betters the Divas division, but actually now brings some credibility and some attention to the Divas title in the WWE? Will, you got to unmute your microphone.
Oops, I'm sorry. I was saying something about Total Divas and you, Billy. I'm sorry. Damn it. Anyway, what I wanted to say, about damn time. About time. But really, get away from this Total Diva scenario. Let's get away from the Total Diva, I'm better than you. Look at you. Let's concentrate on wrestling. Let's concentrate on talent that should have been brought up. Not to take it away from Emma. Not to disrespect Emma. I still thought Paige should have came up first, but you know what? How to come from a Raw after Mania and do what you do, I like to see a lot more. And like James said, no 2, 3, 4 minute match. Let's go over 10 to 15 minutes and let's see what she can do in the ring. Hashtag fuck Total Divas.
I actually hate
I
Total
agree.
Divas. I really do hate Total Divas, mainly for the fact that it only enforces the stereotype that WWE is a massive soap opera. I really don't like that. And having a show that's dedicated to becoming this story, this fictional story, and I just don't like it. It's horrible. And also, I hope they don't just automatically drop the NXT title. They are, but I really hope they don't, because looking here, Paige has held the day for 293 days, which isn't too short off of AJ's title reign for the Divas Championship. So I hope they do something with it, because that's a pretty long title reign just to drop all of a sudden. I really hope they do something with it.
They're gonna have to have her drop the title, even though
It's gonna suck though, because it's been such a long reign.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, it's like the fact that Bo Dallas had it for a good long time. He was and he basically lost at a rival, and now he's coming up onto the main roster. When you're coming up to the main roster, you're gonna have to drop that NXT title. I kinda understand, but at the same I'm not interested in the feud with the Divas. This is a feud that I'm very interested. I want to see.
Lance, I gotta ask you, man, are you a Bo-lever?
Hadn't seen him, so I'm yet to make up my mind. I hadn't really seen him work, because when I was gonna, the network crapped out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I'm yet to make. But when I saw him first, when he basically came up to get his ass whipped by Wade Barrett, he had talent. So I'm still yet to make up my mind.
Well, up next, another shocker for the WWE and Monday Night Raw. We had the presentation of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy with Cesaro winning it. And Zeb Coulter took the microphone. He says very proud that a Zeb Coulter guy won it. And immediately when I heard that phrase, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a switch here. And lo and behold, it does happen. Cesaro grabs the microphone and says that he's not a Zeb Coulter guy. He is a Paul Heyman guy. And the crowd that night went from absolutely detesting Paul Heyman from the Brock Lesnar segment to just absolutely loving the guy to death. And I got to ask you, Lance, what are your thoughts about the crowd just kind of jumping ship there when Cesaro pretty much announced that he was a Paul Heyman guy? What was your reaction to that?
Well, the fact that Paul Heyman went from heel to face in about an hour is freaking hilarious to me. Although, let's face it, as soon Cesaro is how the Real Americans got over. I mean, he turned a heel group to basically a face group. So, did it really surprise anybody?
Not really.
He went from heel to face, and in a split second.
I do like the way that Paul Heyman kind of coined Cesaro, kind of gave him the the new nickname, you know, the King of Swing. I thought
King
that
of
was
brilliant. I
Swing.
love
King
that.
of Swing.
That's a brilliant. I love that nickname.
Then out comes Jack Swagger. He destroys the he throws his arm out the ring and destroys the trophy, which got a round of boos, which led up to the matchup with them. And Cesaro going for the Cesaro swing, Swagger kind of ducking out. That's a feud starting right there. You know, I said it before. You know, they were okay as good tag team partners, but they probably could be better rivals. And you might see a good rivalry out of this one. Alfie, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about that?
Cesaro and Swagger.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's going to be pretty good, the whole rivalry between the two, because you've got Dutch Mantel, amazing Mike, Paul Heyman, amazing Mike, and in my eyes, two great wrestlers. And when you put that together, you got a classic. And I hope they do something with it, because I watch Main Event. I don't know whether you do a separate review, but there was an obvious squash.
Well, one thing, Alfie. One person posted up on Facebook. As soon as that happened, this person said that Cesaro, is glad to have a Paul Heyman guy who's going to be there all year round. Unlike Brock Lesnar. So I think that's probably one of the reasons.
That is a major factor.
I think that's probably one of the reasons why fans cheered him. Up next, finally, the main event of sorts. We were supposed to have a championship match between Daniel Bryan and Triple H. When out comes Randy Orton, Batista, they start beating him down. Kane comes out and choke slams him, and then Triple H came out, ordered the referee to ring the bell, and as soon as that happened, the Shield's music hits. Now, the Shield were ordered by the Authority to assist the game in getting the championship, and instead they turned on the Authority. Roman Reigns speared Triple H, and that's pretty much. And Daniel Bryan hit Triple H with the running knee. And needless to say, well, when it first happened, when we first saw this supposed face turn happening, a lot of people were on the fence about that. I want to say after what transpired on Monday Night Raw, that the Shield is definitely a face group within the company now.
They've been face for weeks in my eyes. They've already been face for weeks. It's nothing new. But I do love the Shield. They're brilliant.
Will, what are your thoughts?
As the new guy tries to take over, okay, you want the Batista spotlight now?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't hear my name called. I'm sorry. I thought my name was called. I apologize.
It's okay. Well, here's the thing. If anybody did not pay attention to the Raw 3 weeks ago when they basically... We thought that they were going to jump Jerry the King Lawler, and they turned and beat up Kane. That was pretty much a true indication, because even though they were backstage with Triple H, Stephanie, and Kane, and Stephanie being the man of that segment because she was raising more of her voice than Triple H was. I mean, come on, guys. This is not how you say stupidity at its finest. The Shield is a face. If you think that WrestleMania match with them against the Kane and the Outlaws didn't prove it, then you suck. They are a face. Look for them to do big things going forward this year.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to find out everyone's overall scores and their picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania indeed showcased a lot of surprises for the WWE. We've seen vignettes from Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. We've seen the in-ring debut of Alexander Rusev. And again, I still say I want to see how he works with other superstars like a Swagger, like a Cesaro, like a Big E. Some guy that can really test him. I want to see how he can really go against someone in the ring of that caliber. This was indeed a very interesting Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania. The crowd was a little bit insane, as one would expect it to be. I mean, they were insane at the Superdome. Why not be insane at the Convention Center for Monday Night Raw? overall, this Monday Night Raw is going to get a 3.75 out of 5 from me. Best match of the night, I want to say, really, I would say AJ Lee and Paige if it wasn't such a 30-second match. It was great to see the return of Rob Van Dam back into the WWE. We're going to see him for another 90 days. But the opening 6-man tag was really by far probably one of the more solid matches they had that week on Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to go with the Wyatt family taking on John Cena, Sheamus, and Big E. I'm going to give an honorable mention to the Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman segment because I love the way Heyman worked that crowd. And also another honorable mention to the presentation of the trophy and how the crowd just immediately jumped ship from hating Paul Heyman to loving Paul Heyman for having Cesaro as a Paul Heyman guy. Worst match of the night. Like I said, it's nothing bad about Alexander Rusev, but I really want to see him, like I said, work somebody other than a lower mid-card jobber like Zack Ryder. I really want to see him work someone who's not like an R-Truth, but I want to say someone like a Del Rio, a Sheamus. Because imagine that, a matchup with Rusev and Sheamus. That would be definitely a brutal match to watch indeed. Not saying bad, but I'm talking about a physical match. But Rusev and Zack Ryder, Rusev really didn't show me too much of what he can do. So it really wasn't exactly that impressive from what I saw out of him. So I'm not going to jump on the Rusev bandwagon just yet. But I really wanted to see more, and he kind of disappointed, in my opinion. So that's why I'm kind of locking in on that being the worst match of the night. Of course, I also want to throw out another honorable mention, not for worst match, but for best segment, to the promo by the Ultimate Warrior. Again, at that time, we had no indication as to what was going to go down. From what we know today. So that's why I'm still just going to throw out an honorable mention to him for that, because it was indeed a very decent promo, and for once we didn't need a translator to figure out what in the fuck he was saying. So let's go to Lance next, get his overall scores and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Lance?
Well, honestly, best Raw I've seen in a damn long time. I got to give it a 5. Best match, what the hell? The debut of Paige, because just because the way the crowd reacted. Best segment, I gotta do it. I gotta give it to Warrior. Worst, because all the matches were good, and just because it was a squash, I gotta do it. Rusev. Just because it was a squash and they could have, like you said, I'm waiting to see what he can really do when he gets in there with non-members of the job squad, of the new job squad. And worst segment, probably, yes, thank you, Billy. Worst, probably not because it was bad, just because, well, it was like segment. When the whole evolution thing, the whole when we're together, nobody can stop us. It wasn't bad. It was just the only thing I can think of that could fit in there.
Yeah, but pretty much there. Let's go to Will next and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Will?
All right. Overall, I have to give this a 4 out of 5. Best match, I would have to say the Wyatt family versus Cena, Sheamus, and Big E, because now that since Bray Wyatt now solidified himself as a now top tier superstar, even though he lost at Mania, and the crowd basically now is singing James's favorite song, "We have the whole world in his hands."
We have the whole world yes.
Alright, and honorable mention, yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the fence about Rusev, but thing is, I don't want Rusev to start doing what Ryback did when he debuted, taking out these low carders, because if you're gonna turn Rusev into a Ryback, then what was his call up for? It's just gonna be meaningless.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Let's go to James next and get his overall scores and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. James?
Before we continue on, Billy, wrong place. It's the Smoothie King Center. This is your cue card. This is the Smoothie King Center. Not the Convention Center, but the Smoothie King Center. Anyway.
And I'm mad Billy just cut me off. I had a bad segment too.
Oh, you did?
What? First Alfie, now you? Everybody want Batista spotlights now? Should I get you a wheelchair?
The spotlight's on you now. The spotlight's on you now.
I do want to say the worst segment is the so-called reformation of Evolution, because like I stated, this is going to get nowhere fast, and this is where going to make people want to change the channel or go grab a sandwich to your nearest kitchen. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody does. And best segment, of course, everybody here is in agreement, Ultimate Warrior. Rest in peace. There you go. Alright, James, now I have to tag you back in.
Alright, that's your cue card. I will say, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. Best match, I will have to give the match... The best match to me, I would say, would be the... I have to give it to the opening six-man tag team match. Best segment is a three-way tie. Three-way tie.
That's how James likes it.
Oh, Lord. First one was the Paul Heyman Brock Lesnar segment. How Heyman worked the crowd and all that. You know, Paul Heyman's always great on the microphone. Second one has to be Ultimate Warriors. We in agreement. Third one, I have to give to AJ's. The segment, how she basically, her segment was very Punk-like. And you heard the crowd going, see, yeah, Punk. What did she say? She's the best diva in the world. And then also, that includes Paige's debut and match to win the Diva title. The worst match has to be Anderson and Rusev in a squash match. The worst segment has to, well, I have to agree with the Evolution. Also, quick note, I don't and won't believe. So I'm gonna say.
Kind of like how I won't agree with Cena haters out there when they say, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. And finally, we go to Awesome Alfie and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Alfie?
Right. I give Raw 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 actually, because I thought it was brilliant. Worst segment had to be Alexander Rusev, and I commented on this before saying that it's just another Ryback. I mean, we've seen it before. James said this. I think it was James.
Me.
It was Will.
It was Will. We don't need another Ryback. Like, he's going to do exactly... He's going to be the dominant force, face jobber after jobber for each week, in and out. Then he's going to die out. I don't think he'll go for a title because he's just not out of that. I'm also tied for a few top spots here because it was so brilliant. Ultimate Warrior being one of them. Like, at the time, I was kind of confused as to why it was needed. I knew he was going to appear, but I'm so happy it was because the things that he said was so beautiful. I mean, it was so lovely. Best match? I think it was Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett versus Mysterio because just the way they reacted to him, I thought it was fantastic. It was hilarious. They started doing Preston, it's a football club over here, they started doing chants for Preston. And that's like a little club. And worst segment was the whole Evolution thing backstage, and best segment had to be both Ultimate Warrior and Paul Heyman's, because he cut the best promo, one of the best promos of his career. It was fantastic.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? And put down that damn cue card. And what are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw? I'm going to call the homeless guy for you and tell me you withdraw a hamburger from him.
I got something.
James, do it.
Do it. All right.
Well, anyway, we want to know what you guys have to say out there. Be sure you put your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Q&As, some guitar stuff, and whatever else pops into my head.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, one is from the hood. The one wants to be hood, but he'll be hooded with a chair. It's the Bay Area MVP known as Will and James the Big Easy. Guys, what you got coming up?
Look for the picture, Billy.
Oh, joy. Well, basically, I'm gonna chill out this week. You know, just rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior. I mean,
James, those boobs are faker than your glasses.
Oh yeah, look in my hand too. Look in my hand.
What is it? Is that a banana?
Oh.
Is that a banana?
That's a duck.
A duck? I can't see it. Oh, it's a duck.
That's a rubber duck.
I thought it was a banana.
I took a picture with Oksana with a duck. The ultimate troll, Billy. Just for you, Billy. Just for you.
Anyway, just basically this week, I'm just gonna just kick back, look at all Ultimate Warrior matches, and remember his legacy. James is probably gonna taunt Billy the rest of the week, but that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna go live maybe this week. I don't know when, but right before I go on my.
Now I just noticed it. Screw you for Oksana.
Yeah, just So I'm gonna go live before I go on my trip to New York City. So I'm not gonna be here for next week. So I hope y'all have fun.
New York City.
That's New York City.
New York City.
What's in New York City?
I'm going to a training.
Uh-oh.
Yep, and finally, Alfie is actually on Facebook himself. Alfie, where can fans check you out on Facebook?
It's a reasonably new, 2-day-old Facebook group that I'm hopefully going to start up. I just wanted a good discussion group that I haven't seen very many around, and I kind of want to get a good discussion group going. So I started that up just for a few friends. If people want to join, go for it. More contributors, the better in my eyes. So yeah, that's where you can find me. It's called what's it? World Yes Movement. There you go. It's just a short little community of people. So yeah.
James, you didn't tell Oksana how much I hated her, did you?
No.
You should have.
What did she do?
I'd rather not get slapped.
Fans, don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So, for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, the Bay Area MVP known as Will, the person formerly known as James, because I'm going to hunt him down and kill him, and awesome Alfie, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Quack, quack.